The Seattle Mariners have a problem. Let's talk about it. So the Seattle Mariners finished their first homestand of 2024 3-4. But for some reason, for most of us Mariner fans, it kind of feels like a painful 3-4, especially after yesterday's shutout against the Guardians. So I kind of just want to talk about a little bit of the Seattle Mariners' offensive struggles and what they really need to improve on going into Milwaukee and Toronto this weekend. So let's start off with a quote from Jerry Dipoto after yesterday's games that really kind of just, it'll either sit well and you'll agree with it, or it'll really just make you more angry at the fact of how bad the Mariners' offense is doing so far. So Jerry said, "In years past, when our offense has struggled, it looks like an offense that is struggling. This year, our offense, we're swinging at the right pitches, we're grinding through at-bats. You know, this is the big leagues, and the other guys are good too. I think our at-bat quality has been really good." So when I first read this quote, obviously I want to get mad based on the results that we're seeing on the field, especially offensively, and I'm going to go through some of those numbers a little bit in this video. But the more you think about it, he isn't wrong. There definitely has been an improvement in the approach of the Mariners at the plate, while they are still striking out a ton and just not being able to string together hits at all. You can tell the approach is there because a lot of guys are being able to work 3-2 counts, whether they're winning them or not, which is definitely something, again, that needs to be improved upon. But they definitely are working themselves into good counts and not chasing as much. Again, that quote could be a little bit controversial, especially with the anger we have towards the offense these past few days. But I do think that he is correct when saying the approach is better. And again, just like I do in most of my videos, I'm going to preface the fact that we are still only 7 games into the season, so I am not freaking out, but these numbers are a little bit concerning. So let's just go through some league numbers and see where the Mariners rank in some main categories. In terms of batting average, the Seattle Mariners are 27th with a 196 team batting average. In terms of K percentage, the Seattle Mariners lead the league at 30.2% K rate. In terms of RBIs, the Seattle Mariners are tied for 25th with 17 runs batted in as a team. In terms of home runs, the Seattle Mariners are tied with a few other teams for the second to last with 4 home runs all season. In terms of walk percentage, the Seattle Mariners are 21st with a 7.3% walk rate. In terms of WRC+, the Seattle Mariners are 25th with a 67, and this one really hurts the most. In terms of WAR, the Seattle Mariners are ranked 25th with a negative 0.1 WAR. So again, after I read you those numbers, you kind of disagree with what Jerry Dipoto said in his interview yesterday. Even though the offensive struggles are obviously a little bit of a concern, I do think they will figure it out at some point, and somehow we are still 3-4 with our 1-3 hitters struggling massively. And again, as bad as our offense has been, there has been other problems such as our defense. When does J.P. Crawford ever run into anyone or have a miscommunication like he did yesterday with Jorge Polanco? And the third base defense is a little bit of a concern, as most people know, and we have had a few outfield mistakes as well. So truly, 2 other things that the Mariners really need to improve on going into these next few games is truly just their quality of defense. And I don't know if anybody else is noticing this, but where's the swag? Where's the confidence? Like, I feel like it's just dead watching them play. When the offense is struggling, it's obviously hard to be fully engaged in a game. But again, this is what we need. We need you guys to be confident, have some swag. Like, that's what we're used to seeing. And again, when you're struggling, it's really hard to be there mentally and even feel like you're being competitive when you can't put up any runs. But thank goodness the Mariners only had 8 strikeouts yesterday, because they have tied the franchise record for the most consecutive games to start a season with 9+ strikeouts. And that number is 6. So we had 6 consecutive games of 9+ strikeouts to start the year, which is just truly painful. And if you just watch these games, it just seems like a lot of them are really uptight. Like, you can see they're putting a lot of pressure on themselves, especially someone like Dom Canzone. You could tell he's just putting a lot of pressure on himself to go up there and perform. I will give a shout out to Ty France, Mitch Haniger, and Luke Raley, because they are doing pretty well. Luke Raley hasn't started in too many games, but he is hitting 250 as of right now, and Ty France is hitting 320, which is awesome to see from him. Driveline Ty might be a real thing. And Mitch Haniger is currently hitting 261, so those 3 guys are definitely still performing, which is great to see. Now we just really need other guys to pick it up around them. And truly, we need to see Luis Castillo go back to his old form of being our ace. That's 2 games in a row he's really struggled. I do think he's going to figure it out at some point, but I'd rather him not wait 5 games to do that. And even in the game against Shane Bieber, we lost 5-2, but we put up 9 hits. But again, defensively, we had 2 errors. So it's kind of just a balancing act. We don't really have one thing that's firing on all cylinders. And again, I did think this lineup was not going to have as much power as last year, but only having 4 home runs is a little concerning. I think guys will find their sweet stroke. So again, as concerning as these first games have been, I do think the Mariners will be just fine. I do think they need to really start to figure it out and make adjustments sooner. And like I said, just play with that confidence, play with that swagger that we know they usually have. And yes, there are high expectations on them this year, as there should be. This lineup is very good. The good thing is being 3-4 just shows you where this floor is when guys are even struggling and our pitching staff is doing great. Obviously, Kirby had his day yesterday, but it's going to happen. But being 3-4 after the horrific offensive week we've had is still good. So as concerned as I want to be, I do think they will be just fine, and it does really show how high their floor is. But let me know down in the comments what you guys think and what your main concern is after these first homestand. And I hope you guys did enjoy the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.